Are you just amused because you get to sit in the middle this time?
I could be sitting anywhere. I'm in front of the curtain. No one knows. But I am sitting in the middle.
Now, why are you sitting in the middle?
Because I'm home alone.
You're not the middle child.
I'm not. I'm the baby.
You are the baby. I'm a middle child.
Technically, yes.
Technically.
Yeah, by a few minutes.
Squeaked in.
Yeah.
I squeaked in there. I have, I don't have middle child syndrome, I don't.
No.
What is the typical thing about middle children? Like that they're overlooked?
No idea.
I think that's what it was supposed to be.
Could be. Nope, I'm the only child. I'm the favored child, therefore, he says, thinking wildly about the things that get her favored child status and realizing she got distracted from said things.
Erwin, are you a middle child? Does it hurt?
Heck no.
Heck
Oldest.
no. Oldest.
Yeah, like a mouse.
Screw them younger siblings, am I right?
Yeah. Younger siblings suck.
Well, you're the youngest. Scott is the eldest. Elizabeth is the eldest.
Yes.
I'm not.
Because you're not a child.
No, I'm
of family. Oh, I was thinking amongst us, and I was like...
No, amongst us, I'm the
Scott's
eldest.
not the
And
eldest,
that's
yes.
like pretty flat. So, Requiem, for road trips, we just had to... We had to cycle who was sitting in the middle. It was never about age for us.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I was always in the backseat. My brother got shotgun since my parents were separated. I had the whole backseat to myself, and or I was squished with the cooler.
Backseat's not so bad. The only thing about backseat which was bad for me, which was if people in the front seat were having a conversation but they were being quiet about it. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
I don't want to be excluded.
Yeah. Or when, they'd be like, oh, we'll just roll down the back windows for air circulation so it won't blow in our faces. And I'm just like... Ah.
And yet you are the only one here.
Yes.
Why?
I'm better than them? No. They're better than me. They are both on...
Fucking...
they're both on set filming, because they're good actors and get cast in roles.
And that's what they're taking care of right now?
Probably.
Well, we didn't want to be without a session. And conveniently, you and the two of them were separated at the end of last session. Which was only sort of set up.
Yeah.
In advance.
Yeah.
But I have an interesting history with solo sessions.
Yeah, now that you mention it, now that we've gotten all the way to this point in the process, I realize you are correct. Solo sessions aren't usually just laugh a minute.
Show them your stats.
Okay. Yeah.
But you do get to recover your willpower.
I will.
You will in a second.
Yeah.
But I'm also, therefore, going to ask how you're feeling about today. Knowing that we have this to deal with.
I'm feeling good. To continue. I'm holding off the green card, the play card. I'm going to do this twice in a row. Let's do this. We have safety cards. You don't. We'll get to what you do have in a moment. What are these? The green card, aka the play card, indicates to everyone that despite any outward appearance, I feel safe to continue. However, the yellow or pause card indicates that we need to just briefly pause game to say, hey, everyone, I need to let you know about something. Once everyone at the table has acknowledged it, Card goes down, game can resume. However, the red card, the stop card, will completely interrupt game, and we here on stream will usually go to a be right back screen so that we can discuss amongst ourselves for as long as we need to, completely drop out of character, talk human to human, come to a resolution whereby everyone at the table feels safe to continue. You don't have cards, but you do have options. You can message us in chat, you can whisper us, that's RPGClinic. We will see it on screen. However, we don't always have a chance to check screen, or you may wish to keep your messages anonymous, in which case you can message one of our moderators. In chat today, we have Aragwin and Kung Fu Fenris. We have She Who Knows 10,000 Things, and Bleeds the Light Invincible.
Bleeds the Light Invincible.
Invincible. I add lots of extra S's in there for some reason. They have green swords next to their names. They are our moderators. They are happy to take your information anonymously if you so choose. But of course, if you need to, we would rather you prioritize your safety. You can always leave chat or the stream. We don't want to see you go. We do want to see you safe.
I'm always worried that one day I'm going to say, we don't want to see you go, but we'd love to watch you leave. And just
love
like,
to watch you walk away,
oh.
bend and snap.
Ranty believes that Macris is a tank and therefore can deal with quite a lot. Do you agree with this assessment?
I mean, sometimes. She can roll with some punches.
Macris is a tank in some circumstances.
Yes.
She's very much a glass cannon in other circumstances.
Yeah. Tough cookie, yes, absolutely.
Well, speaking of tough cookies, I am going to ask whether you've spent any experience. This is a session, after all. What?
Pew. I'm debating between two things and could not decide. If you want, I can make a go to hell Kate and a go to hell Elizabeth. Ah, yes, it's Scott's fault. I'll let him know. No, I'm just waiting until my fellow players are here. It doesn't feel right to get a boost when they're not around. Yeah. No, I'm genuinely torn between two purchases and couldn't make up my mind.
Do you want to see if chat will help you out with this?
I'm looking at Composure 2. As Macris gives in a little to the Hirano and calms down. Question mark. Or Brawl 3, because she sure does a lot of punching. Slash fighting. So, those are my options.
Well, you'll have to survive one more session without either of those things. That'll just be how you have to be. Gil says the composure's not you.
That's fair. That's fair. Oh, everyone's saying brawl.
Are you just doing it?
Yep.
Well, then I guess
if that's acceptable, I know I am potentially going into a fight. Though I'm not currently going into a fight.
You don't know what you're going into.
Yep.
It's acceptable. I mean, some extra willpower wouldn't be remiss in some ways, but...
Yeah, I was aware of that, but I'm not going to game the system. Just for my stat boosts. EGTHTS.
Everyone go
to hell. Go to hell. 2 Scots. Everyone go to hell, Scots. Thanks, Scots. Ah. EGTH. Okay.
Well, should we figure out what kind of situation you're in right now?
Trixie situation. Let's hear.
I don't think the recap is working properly. So...
Did you replace it in this source?
I did.
In this scene?
I pushed start recap and then nothing happened in 1v1. This is Good things. I'm no longer the storyteller.
That 34, correct?
Yes. Is that it? Is that the only thing that needs changing? Dude. And
That's
scene.
Hmm?
You
No.
have to select the scene.
I did that.
The source, sorry. And is it going to black and white us or not?
It may or may not. We'll see.
Alright, well, either way. Well, then here we go.
After a day of rest and recovery with help from packet loss, the pack learned that Climata had just declared bankruptcy, though Tracy and Batu's death was still being kept silent, unlike a swarm of drones heard outside, headed for the mountain. Macris went into the woods to try to down some drones, while Troyan and Dante approached the gathered crowds, finding the mayor giving a speech, accompanied by Tracy. Climata's operation was in full swing, dropping thousands of seeds, though not over weathered storm. After some pointed questions from Troyan, the mayor hurried off to another appointment, and Tracy ducked into a limo. Into the limo went Troyan, out went a security guard, in went Dante, and out came Claus as 4 others in the limo shifted to Glabro. Separated from her pack, Macris spun a tall tale of having seen her dear friend Tracy dead last night and convinced a reporter to bring her to the morgue for answers.
Are we back? Is all good? Did everything work?
Well, I mean, some things work. We didn't go gray.
Yes. That happens through updeck and would have taken much longer to do. I have taken a note.
Yeah, DJ Quiver, I would try a refresh. Possibly a hard refresh by pressing Shift F5.
Isn't it
Control F5. Both do it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Flower of August has no cones.
In their eyes, yeah, just gray. They have truly channeled what it is to be a guru, because don't dogs also only see in black and white? Therefore.
The pre-game bar underneath is somewhat reactive to what we're doing.
Yeah.
So it can shift back and forth depending on what kind of time we're working on.
Yeah.
I like how you've turned that stream deck away.
No, it's just that's how it was set. Here. It's not gonna bother you. Ta-da!
Do you have any questions going forward? Hopes? Fears? Loves? Hates?
I have lots of those. That's a lot to start listing. I'm excited. Looking forward. Ready for trouble. Or none. It'll just be a walk in the park. Macris will just, go on a little fun drive. That's that.
That's definitely what the session's going to be. It's going to be a fun little drive.
Road trip.
All right. Are you about ready?
Yes.
Anyone out there ready? Oh, we got some hells.
Ooh.
Hells happen. Okay. Well, then let's get started, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
There's a concept known in competitive sports, and especially competitive video games that are team games, in which somebody is designated as the carry. The carry is somebody who tends to put the team on their back and pull them through to victory. It's not necessarily the person, although sometimes you'll see certain roles designated as carry roles, but it's usually more accurate to describe the carry as just the person who was the most valuable player. Well, today you're the carry. There's no one else around. You can't get help from either Troyan or Dante this session. That's a given. But what's also a given is that there may or may not be other people able or willing to help you. Just don't forget that there's a lot of different ways to ask for help. That you have many ways at your disposal to try and get assistance if you need it, but you still may not receive it. Sometimes being a carry means that you have to put everyone else in your backpack and just yank them across the finish line because they're nothing but people who hold you back. Now, you just got into a very fancy car. You want to remind people what's happening?
Yeah. As mentioned in the recap, we all rushed over at the sound of drones, found a bunch of seedlings being dropped by Clemata's seeding operation. It's going ahead. There was a PR event happening, and while Troyan and Dante chased after Tracy and Batu? Macris ended up separated from them and with a reporter claiming that she was dear friends with Tracy and that she had just seen Tracy dead at the morgue, and yet for some reason there was someone here looking exactly like her, and so she convinced this reporter to take her to the morgue.
You know, there are cooler things to do than going to the morgue, but perhaps not as many that
I don't know, it's pretty cold in the morgue.
This
Thanks for finding it.
is the Montreal morgue.
Cool.
Uh,
Can you zoom out a little? I'd like,
yes, I will in a second. I'm just making sure that I can put the fact that it is Montreal morgue. The Montreal morgue, if we're
Oh, it's east.
looking at it, is a bit east. It's actually quite close to it's getting close to where City Hall is.
Mm-hmm.
And it in fact is, see the Bureau de Coroner?
Yeah.
Right? It's actually where Sûreté du Québec
Yeah.
lies. So that's the provincial police, as it were. It is a little bit north, or in the parlance of Montreal, as much as this looks like it's north, it's actually called east.
Along the river is east and west, and then up across the island is north-south.
Which means that you have to go from the mountain
Yeah.
here to the morgue.
Yeah.
So it's a distance, but it's not a huge one.
No.
The car smells like new car.
Mm-mm. Need to recall he had a sweet ride, but I didn't write it down.
I believe I defined it as a Pontiac Firebird.
Oh, yeah.
The car smells like it's new. Now, there are ways to make a car smell new, especially ways that used car dealers will use in order to try to convince you that things are nicer than they should be.
Mm-hmm.
Our Chevrolet Corvette? No, I might have made it a Chevrolet Corvette. Right, because it's an
It's a car.
electric Corvette.
This is very important, folks.
Apparently. The way that... what did I name the guy?
Calvin Fremont.
That's right. I kept thinking Corey, and I'm like, nah, I didn't call him Corey.
Calvin Fremont.
The way that Calvin drives is not somebody who drives typically sports cars like this. He drives very slow, very deferential. Montreal's roads are not the best, so also sports cars aren't the greatest for navigating them. Pavement is cracked, bumpy. This is the world of darkness, so potholes take more than they give.
Yeah.
But as he's going along, he starts asking you questions, and you also notice that there is a voice recorder, like a Zoom, that is sitting on the center console. So how do you know Tracy Mbatu?
We met at an environmental conference. Klamada's work, the future of the planet and the plants. I mean, she's new to Klamada, but she's not new to caring about our future, about nature, about the world. We ended up seated next to each other in a crowd. There weren't very many seats left. It was nice to see the turnout. And, we were both nodding and agreeing with the same statements and disagreeing, and ended up striking up a small conversation between speakers.
Did she have a lot of friends like you?
No, not like me. Ooh, that's weird to say. Was college educated. Climbing ranks in businesses. I mean, made it to CEO. I'm nobody. But, opposites attract, I guess. How the other half lives.
Opposites attract? Were you two romantically involved?
No. Not like that.
Still, it must be interesting rubbing elbows with the millionaire set.
I spent more time with her in my circles than I spent in hers. I think she might have been open to it, but I never asked, and it's not where my interests lie.
Do you believe in her mission?
What do you think her mission is? She's fresh to Klamada. Her mission is to make things better, help fight back the pollution that we're churning out into the world. But Klamada's mission is, I'm sorry, I'm not her PR person, I don't represent her views, yada yada blah blah, but Klamada's mission isn't necessarily her personal mission, as much as, a CEO would definitely imply that.
Of course. I don't mean to imply anything. I didn't expect for her to have that sort of relationship with you.
Because I'm nobody.
Yes.
Yeah.
You look like you came here to protest. He eyes the various sort of dirt markings.
Jeans and t-shirt and dirt, and yeah, probably some sort of vaguely quote-unquote political choice, yeah.
Because I don't want to alarm you, but I'm not surprised that people are protesting this.
Because it's untested.
We've heard stranger stories.
Yeah.
Do you have any comment about the idea that Klamada might be, in fact, a shell company?
Well, considering they declared bankruptcy and yet are going ahead with this, I have no idea. I'm not a business person.
What about the idea that Climata is actually supposed to be supporting some decidedly non-environmental companies?
I have no idea. I could understand why Tracy wanted this. Could understand what was going on, why it was a good career move, why it was theoretically aligned with her interests. But
he bites his lip. Have you ever heard of...
Ooh, the suspense.
Fine. Have you ever heard of something called Project Twilight? For the first time, he looks away from the road just to see if there's any reaction coming from your face.
Yes, that's gonna have to be a roll.
Yeah, that's...
Because she's gonna try to act like she's gonna think for a moment and be like, I don't think so. What do they do?
That's gonna be a manipulation subterfuge roll. Your rage is still 2.
Three.
Just before we continue, let's also just make sure that you recovered your willpower correctly. Rat asks you, did you act in accordance with honor last session?
No, I did a lot of lying.
Yeah, you did a lot of lying, actually.
Yeah.
But
Spent a lot of time recovering.
But you were doing lying in the service of someone else.
Yeah.
Lying isn't necessarily dishonorable. But do you feel that you served the tenet of honor to Rat's satisfaction?
Yeah, I guess I was sticking my neck out for the population, for the planet, for the wrongdoing. I was
defending a cairn.
Yeah, defending a cairn, defending the whole damn island against these theoretically evil seeds.
I'll give you one of your...
Thank you. Look at that.
Aggravated willpower back.
3 whole boxes. Yeah.
3 successes.
Yeah.
Let's see if you manage to overcome his cub reporters. No, that die didn't need to exist.
I rolled a 4. I thought it was a 10 because the 0 was facing me, but that's not.
Count. Dice on the floor do never count.
No, they don't.
That's one thing, folks. Have specific rules about dice, leaners, and miscalculated pools and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
If you have rules at the beginning.
Yeah. Like, I had one in my roll that was a 1, but it was like 90% on the 1. It was just like against the edge of my tray, and I was like, that's definitely a 1. There's no doubt. I just like nudged it to be flat for myself. But yeah.
You've never heard of Project Twilight. There was a recent incident involving the Champlain Bridge.
Oh, yeah. They shut the whole thing down for a while. There was all kinds of traffic nightmare. Project Twilight. Protest group?
Yeah, I remember there was a whole story about a dog who was being chased onto the bridge. He's not buying your...
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what to say. What to say about it, what to say about it, what to say about it. My gifts aren't going to help me here.
You just start making the car reek.
No.
Pulls
What
up
else did you
outside
hear
the-
about it? What else do you hear about it?
I heard that Project Twilight was involved. You're saying you don't know anything about that?
Do you think they're related?
You'll forgive me. I'm the one trying to find answers here.
So you're the one asking the questions.
You're the one who's claiming that a woman I saw give a speech about 20 minutes ago is actually dead. I'd say that you're the one who has something to prove here, ma'am.
I'm gonna grab his Zoom recorder off the console.
He looks up. There's a moment of like, what are you doing?
Doesn't have an obvious delete button, unfortunately. I agreed to get in your vehicle. I didn't agree to be grilled or put on some sort of record that may or may not be held against me in a court of law. Which is like looking for a delete button. Zoom recorders do not have delete buttons.
I mean, you can, but it's like
there are lots of settings, but zero technology. Definitely not in her realm. She knows how to use a smartphone to like use the socials and deal with emails, and that's about it.
I'm not asking you to be on the record, not just yet. And I wasn't recording.
Cool. And so she's gonna gingerly place it back where it was.
Come on. We're here.
Yep.
He gets out of the car and of course like the door has engineered sound, so like when it closes it feels the best sort of clunk. And he starts walking as if he's been here before towards the coroner's office.
She follows.
Okay. Let's see.
She heads in.
There's a very, very chipper-looking receptionist who's working at the desk of the coroner's office. She has about, by your reckoning, 700 piercings in various places. Her hair is a multi-hued patchwork of absolute craziness. And while the outfit that she's wearing is quite conservative, it's very clear that she made it that she was like, I will wear what you give me, but I'm not changing anything else. And they were like, okay, it's hard to find receptionists for a coroner's office. She'll greet you in French.
Okay.
But we can proceed in English. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. How can I help you today?
Sorry. I'm here for Tracy Mbatu. I believe she's already been identified.
Tracy Mbatu.
Yeah, M''BATU.
All right. You believe that she's here?
That's my understanding.
Okay, well, you should know that anybody who's here is here because of a medical examination. You believe that that's...
Sorry. That's not... Like, I'm like, time out. No, this is Kate timing out. It's like, that... Like, if you want that to be the fact for the game, that's great. My knowledge of the coroner's office is a little bit different, is that if you aren't being held at a hospital or at a funeral home, you'd end up going either at the coroner's office or passing through it. So, yeah, just, like, if you want to establish alternate facts, that's fine.
We're establishing something specific
here.
Okay.
Okay, great. I just wanted to check in, like, this is what Kate knows, like, yeah, chapeau.
You believe that her remains are here?
Or would have passed through here and possibly been moved on to a funeral home by now.
Can you spell that for me? And
yes.
Then she starts diligently tapping in. I don't see her. Do you have her under a different name? Is Tracy short for something?
It could be, but she never told me.
Could you roll me a charisma performance for me?
Charisma it is. You want to press that button?
Which button would that be?
The brutal outcome button. That's a 1 and a 2 on my 2 rage dice.
I'm going to give you 2 options
Yeah.
here. You can either break something on her desk in frustration.
Yeah.
Or you can flub. Bear in mind, this is the Sûreté du Québec building, and if you destroy something here, it might, not necessarily, but it might cause a lot of attention drawn towards it.
I guess my question is, like, my thought is she's gonna, like, slam her fist down on, like, the cup for pens or something. Is that enough, or does it need to be bigger?
No, that's
yeah.
enough.
She's gonna slam her fist down on the cup for pens.
The cup just
like
splinters. There are pens now all over the floor.
She passed away, and someone who looks exactly like her was on stage today. I don't know what is going on.
Calvin's eyebrows are now like into his hairline.
Yeah. There's something going on with her. I don't know what's going on.
I don't see her in our system, madam, and you've broken my mug.
I'm sorry.
It was my favorite mug. You see that the mug had messages of, like, it seemed like hand-scrawled messages. Some of them say, get well soon.
There's something going on here. Of course they'd cover it. Of course they'd cover it. Of course they'd cover it.
How did she die?
Let's just say they only showed her face.
They only showed her face? I don't understand.
Whatever it was violent. I don't know. It hasn't hit the news. They were covering it up.
Calvin reaches up and, like, steps in front of you. Can you tell me if there have been any bodies recently come in with trauma to the face? Was it? The face.
And then Macris will start describing Tracy and Batu's basic physical characteristics.
I mean, which are...
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not hard to describe, but
yeah.
The woman there is, like, looking at you, and there's very much I could just reach under the desk for the secret button.
Yeah.
But Calvin's there, and Calvin is trying to smooth things over, and then... Well... And then her face falls a little bit, and then she looks up, and abruptly she's very neutral. I'm sorry, I don't see any records of that. You're going to have to look elsewhere.
Of course. I'm sorry about your mug. I'm sorry. You're just doing your job. It's not your fault that information is being messed with. Or I'm just going insane. Maybe I've just had a mental breakdown and I'm just making this all up.
Can you roll me a winsight?
Kate is good. Oh, I didn't mean to also pick up the bots. That is 3 successes.
She's seen something that's disturbed her. She's trying to cover it up. And she's trying to get you out of there because she's realized that something has gone wrong. And it has not... well, obviously you have something connected to it, but it isn't something that you did.
Yeah. You're just doing your job. You can't have information that you don't have. You can't make it exist in your system if it's not in your system. Sorry again about your mug. I'm just gonna go suffer my grief somewhere else. Not your problem. Macris is gonna turn and walk away.
Calvin says, I'm so sorry about your mug, and he starts placing shards of it in front of her. I mean, it's broken into big shards, right?
Yeah.
But then he knocks the monitor so that he can see what's written on it. The receptionist
Mhm.
quickly puts the monitor back, and Calvin says, I will see you around. He turns and he starts trotting after you.
I was hoping he'd be like, the reporter might be curious. Maybe the reporter picked on us too. So once we're theoretically out of the building without being stopped.
We're not leaving. Take my arm, don't say anything, look sad.
She follows instructions.
What's your strength, by the way?
4.
So there's a bit of a okay as he turns and he immediately starts heading towards a restricted area.
I don't know what's going on. I thought I'd be able to see her one last time. I thought she'd be
317.
here.
Shh. 317. Just keep walking. We need a lab coat.
She's keeping her eyes out. Also, very ready to snap his neck at any sign of evil doing. But for now, keeping your eyes out for a lab coat.
So he stops outside like a door that clearly you can't enter without authorization.
Or a key card or something, yeah.
There was somebody who didn't have a name. Not a Jane Doe. No name. Somebody whose face had been removed.
Are we going into the room that I think we're going into?
If we can find a way in there. If you can prove its story is true.
I mean, hard to prove without a head.
But there's no name. That's not supposed to happen in a place like this.
I would
Have
like-
some kind of identification.
I would like to try to Jessica Jones the door, whereby I use my strength to wrench it open. Without, like, punching it or kicking
You have a
it.
strength of 4.
Yeah.
Now, this door... In other words, you just want to force the door open.
Yeah. Without like a big loud kick or anything.
So I'll let you do one of two things. I'll either let you do a feat of strength, or you can shift to Glabro and I'll let you do it automatically.
Nope. Not yet.
So we're doing a feat of strength?
Yeah. I think there is a gift that's like somewhere on my wish list somewhere that's like you can get through locked doors and stuff.
So the thing that you're asking to do is to break down a standard interior door.
Yeah.
Now, that at strength 4 you can do without a test.
Yeah.
But if you want to be able to do it in such a way that it's fast, quick, and
Less like, cacophonous.
yeah, as opposed to you just
Like,
smashing it.
yeah,
open.
rearing back and kicking it perfectly to...
So what you're going to do is you're going to roll strength and athletics.
Okay. That's several dice out. Reroll the whole thing.
Okay.
I'm not mad at this.
What'd you get?
6.
I'm going to say that's enough. So you just walk up to the door and with one very quick but very sure thunk, the door pops open. He looks at you and just proceeds on.
Protesters like to get places they aren't supposed to be.
Okay. Once you're through there, now you're in a sort of a locker room. It's also kind of like a scrub room. Like, this isn't an OR. You don't have to be complete, but they do.
Ain't
have to
nobody
make sure
catching diseases from you.
no, but they do have to make sure that you're not contaminating.
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
you're examining. So you can pull whatever you want to get. There are lab coats here. You can also just try to open lockers until you see one with an ID that might still be inside it, etc., etc.
Okay. Then yeah, I'll be find a lab coat and hold it out for him.
You should have one too.
Finds one that fits her.
You realize that we're committing several crimes here.
Am I following you or are you following me?
What's Project Twilight?
I do not know.
He shakes his head and he continues on towards another door that's marked cold storage. He reaches out and he pulls on a locker, one of those like drawer lockers essentially that they have at 317, and it won't open. There's a lock on it. However, all of the lockers have temporary identification cards that list who's there. This locker has a blank card.
I feel like this isn't quite as rip openable. And it's a question of, like, we're probably on camera already.
Do you have any larceny?
Oh, I do.
You could try to pick the lock.
Sure. There's like
That's
tools and
dexterity
stuff
first.
around, actually, so there are bits and bobs that would actually be small for this purpose. So that's Dex larceny.
Mm-hmm.
Four successes.
It's not a very difficult lock to pick. It's more just to make sure that you don't open the wrong one. And then
As I'm doing this, this is why probably why she didn't invite me to her fancy parties.
the drawer slides open. There's a body bag on the inside. Calvin looks up at you. How long ago did you say that she died?
About a day ago. I mean, they didn't give me the exact hours.
He unzips the body bag. Now, on the inside, there is a body. There is no flesh above the neck.
And is the skin tone and frame and shape
The rest of it definitely
could possibly be
looks like
Tracy?
yeah, it could be.
Cool.
You know what? Roll me your resolve and medicine.
Oh, no. One.
It could be.
Okay.
There's nothing that immediately says like, oh, it couldn't possibly be. This is clearly some like a 75-year-old white dude. But like,
Yeah.
the thing is, the body is dead. The body's changed.
Yeah. I don't know how often you look at dead bodies, but that seems correct.
He looks like he's fighting the urge to be sick. It's
Yeah,
not
like
a pretty sight.
she doesn't spend much time looking.
He zips the bag up pretty quickly and then pushes the thing possibly a little too hard so that it clangs before he closes the...
But what if she was trying to fake her own death for some sort of cover up and I'm caught in the middle and this is some person that wasn't her?
You don't fake your own death and then go to a press conference.
Yeah, I
instead.
guess not. But it looked like her on the stage. But she was far from me.
Who or what is Project Twilight?
Bad guys.
So you do know them.
I
Did
don't
they do
know
this?
them. I don't think so. I don't know. I don't know what's going on here with her. All I know is that they seem terrible and awful. And like they would do this to someone, maybe. I don't know. They just seem evil. I don't want to know anything about them. They seem like the kind of people who would disappear you if you mentioned knowing them.
And at that, all the lights go out.
Cool. Cool.
After 2 seconds, some emergency lighting comes on. but it's much darker in here than it was before.
Oh yeah. Just gonna double check what I can do in Homend, which probably isn't very much. Yep, okay. I'm going to step away from where he was and try to shed the lab coat as I do so.
I mean, that's easy.
Yeah.
Picking up a lab coat,
Yeah.
I don't have to make you do a roll for that.
Yeah, just that's like my first response.
Maybe it's just a power outage.
Maybe we know too much.
Reaches into his pocket and he pulls out his cell phone and he clicks on its flashlight.
Are we wandering out the way we came, or are we trying to find some sort of back exit, which I doubt exists from a room like this?
There has to be multiple ways to exit this kind of building. It's huge.
Building, yes. This room, I don't know. Macris starts looking around.
There's an autopsy room that's off to the side, and then there's a room that will put you back into the locker room, and then there's a room that's marked like supply.
Out the way we came so that the security cameras see us leaving the building? Or do you think we're about to get murdered?
I don't know. I didn't think that it was going to get this far.
You told me to look sad.
I thought maybe I could convince somebody that you were a grieving family member, then we just needed to see the body. I didn't realize that you could force the door open.
Communication's important. Yeah, Macris is gonna head back towards the locker room.
As you head back towards the locker room, you see that the lights are off in there as well. And that somebody is opening the door that heads out towards the...
Flatten myself against the wall and listen. Like, so that if the door opened, it would open, like, to block me from sight.
They were in here. They were asking about 317. You see that there are 3 people who are just about to enter the door. They're dressed in Sûreté de Quebec uniforms, and then you hear a very loud "Back off!" behind them.
You need to get out here. Try the other door.
Are you pointing to the supply or autopsy?
Autopsy. I would assume supply is a dead end.
Goes to the autopsy room. You see that there's like a gurney in there, a table, some freshly laid out stuff. There's no body in
Okay,
there right
it's
now.
just ready. Yeah.
Yeah. In French, you hear shouts of, "But what do you mean?" And then, "We have jurisdiction over this."
And then Macris is gonna follow him in to the autopsy room again. Stop. If the door would swing either way, hinge side of the door.
Calvin's sweating profusely at this point and looks like he's about to freak out.
I don't know if they're above the Geneva Convention or whatever rules of the world there are. I don't know if they'd let you be an innocent victim and blame me, or whether they'd just kill you and can treat you as collateral. Are there any other exits to this room?
In the autopsy room, there are the following. There is an industrial-sized vent that looks like it's able to purge the room of scents that's above you.
Mm-hmm.
There is a bathroom that's off to the side.
Mm-hmm.
And there's another supply area here. And there also is one more door that's unmarked.
So bathroom supply vent, mystery door.
Yeah, and the door you just came in.
Mystery door.
Mystery door, as you head towards it and you push it open, you can hear from inside, "Go away."
Macris is not going to go away. It is in fact going to move forward.
No, what are you doing? Go away, go away.
Who
In
are
the
you?
darkness of the hallway, you can see someone very small, like skittering backwards.
Well, that's terrifying.
Calvin faints.
Shoulder.
Are you taking the corpse with you?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
Did you take anything from the corpse?
No. And I would have closed.
He
Close
closed
the locker.
it.
Yeah.
Slammed it shut because he
Yeah.
was like gross and weird.
I'm going to pull the door behind me close so that I'm in whatever the space is with this thing. I'd love to go away. Is there another way out of here?
Go through the supply. That's all you can do.
You better hide. Twilight's on their way. And she heads back to the supply.
As you head back into the supply, Calvin starts to wake up and like, what? Ah! And he starts to flail on top of you.
Thunk him down to his feet.
What was that?
I don't know. Into the supplies.
The supply is not a closet. It's like a warehouse. It's got equipment upon, like, just shelves and shelves of not just equipment, but also things like body bags of like evidence.
Great.
All of that. It is a big room, not quite like a warehouse, but very large. At least the size of like a very large school gym.
Great. I'm gonna try to pull him along like the wall to try to see if any of the walls have doors or windows. So starting like to the left and then wrapping around.
This is a secure police location. There would be no easy access to the outside, but you can see that there are among the shelves several doors to several places. They are marked, but because it's so dark in here, it's hard to see what they are. You hear the same voice that you heard before. We don't want you. We just want her.
Macris is gonna open whatever door is closest to her and push him through and close the door.
Wait! When you close the door, you see that the door thing that it says there is break room.
That seems good. Macris is gonna head off to like the opposite corner of the space.
As you head off into the corners of the space, at one point you hear a metallic clank, 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 and then smoke starts to fill the area.
How bad is it? Is it just visual obstruction, or is it going to be like
Only visual?
Only visual? Great. Then I'm going to switch to Glabro and activate Blissful Ignorance. So rage check for Glabro. Oh, it's a wisdom check. Thank fuck. I was like, oh no.
What does it cost?
1 willpower. Shoop. And I'm in. Glabro.
5 people come in. They have flashlights attached to assault rifles that they're fanning out. I'm going to ask you for an intelligence. Okay, either intelligence firearms or Intelligence insight.
Insight it is.
I somehow didn't think you were going to pick firearms.
3 5s, so nada.
Don't really recognize anybody here. You don't have anywhere else to go. All you have to do is come out with us quietly. Flashlights start to fan out. You want to remind people what blissful ignorance does?
The group becomes practically invisible so long as they remain still and silent. Any attempt to spot them is done at a difficulty of 2 plus the gift user's wisdom. Any movement breaks the effect, and attempts to use the gift for ambush are subject to the normal ambush rules, as the target has a chance to spot the attacker before the attack lands.
Yeah. So the difficulty is currently 6, if I remember.
Wits and awareness against my composure plus strength.
What? That doesn't. Hold on.
No, that's for ambush. Sorry, 2 plus the gift uses windows. So yeah, 6.
Okay. Well, that's technically possible.
Mm-hmm. Double O's exist.
That's 2 successes. It looks like they're doing some kind of search. This time I want you to roll a... we're gonna say it's wits and leadership.
I got 2 zeros, so that's 4 successes on 3 dice.
Okay, interesting to note.
Yeah.
The way that they're conducting their search is haphazard. This likely indicates that they don't have training in this sort of situation.
Macris is going to continue to wait them out.
At one point, they start opening doors. You notice that the ones that are locked, they seem to have a key that they can use to unlock and look in. They do at one point look into the break room. And then, oh. The journalist is in here. He's dead. They keep fanning out and looking. You're standing close to some Erlenmeyer flasks, just up against a thing. And at one point, one of them walks directly past you. He's wearing plain clothes.
But he's carrying some sort of firearm.
He's carrying...
Is it a rifle or a handgun?
It's an assault rifle. So
okay.
That's like a submachine gun.
Okay.
You know,
yep.
Right?
Like this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's the amount of guns she knows.
Kind it is?
No, that's okay.
Do you want to be like gun thumpers?
No, specifically, I'm like, she doesn't have any firearms, but is it a little pistol?
It's a two-hander.
Or is it a bang bang? Or a rat-a-tat or whatever sound effects guns make? Yeah. Great.
You've never fired one before. I've never fired one before. Know what to do with what. Yeah, I can probably figure it out. Actually, you've seen one.
Yes.
You've seen
beep,
one
beep, beep.
When you did your production of What Rough Beast.
Ah, yes, that one. Yay. And also for Scorch then. Anyway.
She's not in here. All right, cover all the exits, and I want people on the roof. They'll leave the room. Back the way they came. The autopsy room.
She's gonna wait like an hour until if anything happens.
All right, that's a stamina stealth. Your difficulty is pretty low on this, so we're just checking to make sure that you have the... Oh, you have a lot of stealth, don't you?
Oh, I'm only down to 1 rage. I do have a lot of stamina, and I have 2 stealth.
That's a lot.
But I've got tons of stamina. Good things those weren't rage dice. I have 2 2 successes.
2's enough.
Okay. I was like, do I spend willpower?
2's enough.
Great.
No, the difficulty was 2 for this. You managed to stand still for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, it's clear that nobody's coming back into this room, or at least they haven't yet.
She's still going to move quietly, and her first move is going to be towards the break room.
Okay. You move towards the break room. You're still in Glabro, right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to open the door really slowly.
All right. First thing that you notice when you open the door is Calvin, who's lying on the ground of this break room. The break room is like tiled. There's a couch and a couple of recliners. There's a fridge. On the fridge, there's notes that are saying like, "We'll empty this every Thursday. This means you." This is not a bacterial culture fridge.
Yeah.
You see that Calvin is lying down, face down on the tile. There's red that's surrounding his head.
Yeah.
But it smells a little weird in here. It doesn't smell like blood.
I'm gonna keep, like, all ears listening for someone or something else that's in this room until such time as I see if there's a different exit to this room. Is there another exit to the break room?
So you're going to... How about you just examine the break room? I'm going to ask you to roll here your wits and investigation, please. Do you have investigation?
Hey, 1.
Hey, that's...
3.
All right. You recognize the following things about the break room. First, it does have an alternate exit.
Okay.
You're not sure where it goes. Second, the room smells sweet. Like ketchup.
Yeah. She's gonna bend down and lay the back of her head against his neck. Still warm?
Oh, yeah.
Any
you can
motion?
also feel, like, pulse and breathing.
See, you've got as much patience as I do, she says very quietly.
I learned it from a video game.
Wow. She's gonna stand up and check what leads out the other room.
Are you helping him up, or are you just leaving him there?
I'm gonna switch back to Glabro as soon as...
you mean Hamid?
Hamid, as soon as... Because I assume he's still face down.
Yeah, he's face down.
Switch back to Hamid. No, I'm gonna leave him. I'm gonna check the door.
Okay. When you open the door and you look, it's a hallway. It looks like there's various administrator offices. Wait for me.
Close the door again.
He gets up. There's just ketchup all over the side of his face, and it's got some on his shirt.
I don't know how long they're going to keep this place bottled up.
Why are they looking for you? Who are they?
I assume this is Project Twilight, aka the bad people, aka they just saw you dead and kept moving like it didn't matter.
That's not Project Twilight.
No?
No, they're not wearing any uniforms.
Project Twilight wears uniforms? They're the bad people. I assume they just walk around in normal clothes and kill people for fun.
Are you being deliberately like this, or are you...
Like, she's...
You've only ever seen them in uniform.
Yes.
Okay.
So she's intentionally lying.
All right,
and implying that she thinks they are the bad people. Like, really bad, super spy evil. Yeah.
That's completely fair.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get out of here.
Where? How?
What's out of that room?
Hallway. Offices.
Offices have windows.
Alright. Pull the door open.
Now,
check the hall.
The hallway is still dark.
Yeah.
At least there's no smoke in here, though.
Yeah.
And there's enough emergency lighting in here that you can see that each of the doors has like a name and a title underneath it, like coroner.
Yeah, so she picks something that isn't like administrative assistant. So a title that seems more higher in the food chain, therefore more likely to have a bigger window.
Coroner would do.
Yeah,
Coroner is
exactly.
actually a very highly placed
Yes,
position.
exactly. I know how offices work. You get a real window if you're a real person.
And you open the door. Inside, there's, medical textbooks. There's a pair of boxing gloves hanging on the wall. There's a big oak desk with a chair that probably costs way too much money. But there are indeed windows that lead out into a small kind of green space. I mean, remember, this is still basically downtown Montreal.
Close the door behind us. Crack open the window.
When you crack open the window, you see that, it's just a plate glass window. You can see out of it without needing to open it.
Okay.
You can just pull the shade aside.
Yeah.
You see that outside, everything looks normal, but you do spy that there's at least one person who's kind of wandering around out, who has his hands stuffed into his pockets and looks like he's trying to
be inconspicuous.
Yeah,
they're still circling the building.
How did somebody know to come at you so quick?
I have no idea. Genuinely.
And then
we're looking into something that clearly they're trying to cover up.
You hear a crackle, and then over the intercom, Guyan.
Does this sound at all like the voice in the hallway?
Yeah.
Like the creepy thing?
No, not the creepy thing.
Oh, okay.
Guyan. You're the only one left. We've evacuated the rest of the building. Which means that if you come outside, you'll be killed unless you come out with us. It's okay. We forgive you for what you did.
Well, you heard them. I'm dead no matter what. You should find a safe place to wait.
Is that your name?
No. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't know who these people are. I do know that it sounds like they actually believe you're dead. So you need to do what you need to do to survive.
I could hide in a locker.
Wherever makes the most sense to you. Try not to leave ketchup everywhere.
When am I going to be able to see you again?
If I survive and your name is
Calvin.
Really Calvin Fremont, I assume I can find your contact info through your blog.
He hands you a business card. The business card contains his name, his email address, and also a smudged thumbprint of his
ketchup
pocket.
But chances are I'm done for. Investigate this at your own risk. I want you to, but I don't want you dead. You didn't ask for this. Survive, okay?
You too.
Call me anything and everything you need to survive. Accuse me of being the devil. Whatever it is that'll get you out of this.
I don't even know what the hell I would call you.
Good. Now she's gonna slip back towards the break room.
He just crawls under the desk.
Yep. She's gonna head back towards the break room.
Guyan. It's all right. Alice did what she did because she wants to help. There was no way for you to have known. Which is why we're ready to talk.
My plan is to get back towards that hallway with that thing.
Okay.
But I'm going to try to progress stealthily, listening out for anyone in the next room until I get to that hallway.
I'm still operating on your old stealth roll until
Okay,
otherwise.
great. That's awesome.
It's kind of cheap if I just make you keep rolling stealth over and over again.
Yeah, but I'm doing different things, right? So I'm taking
now,
different approaches. Great.
Until you've made a radical, like when you like start, wrecking shit up. Maybe you'll have to start redoing a stealth roll. But you do manage to make it back to that hallway, and you hear, "Go away."
I can't get out of this building. I'm sure you can hear the announcements.
You're Guyan?
I am.
It's a dumb name. Get here.
How? You know this place?
Skitters backwards even further. This thing is, it's maybe the equivalent of somebody who's 4'8".
Okay.
And is definitely staying low and in the shadows.
Mm-hmm. I'm not moving to try to like get close to it or see it more than being in this space that it doesn't seem to want me in.
This is my turf, not yours. Get out of here.
Want to, but I'd like to get out of here alive.
I don't care.
Well, I'm staying in this room because I figure you'll be upset if someone else comes in here.
God damn it. You.
Thanks. Can normal people see you, hear you, be aware of you?
Use the vent. You're going to have to destroy a few grates, but you can get out through the vent onto the roof.
Do you have any favorite snacks that can make their way back in this building?
Sorry, repeat that?
Do you have any snacks that can make their way back into this building?
Snacks?
Yeah, that's what she's asking.
What?
Thanks. I don't know. Do you like chocolate?
Get out of here.
Okay, I'm leaving. Thank you. She heads for the vents.
Back in the autopsy room.
Kate wants to know. Macris is like, fuck this.
Back in the autopsy room, when you see the vent, there are grates, but they're the kind that you can just sort of like pull out of the way. This, however, is going to take a stealth roll because it will be noisy otherwise. Mm-hmm. This is actually a strength stealth.
Fun.
Your difficulty is high.
Yep. I don't think I have the time for this to be carefully considered.
You did make this plan.
So I can take a day from Fox? I will spend a willpower. I'm going to leave these and reroll these. 4 successes.
Okay. The first grate that you pull, you hear like that it's echoing up and down the vent itself. So there's a moment of like, oh, but as you remove the first grate and then the second and then the third, pulling out filters and stuff like that, you don't want to know what's in those filters, but it does provide at least then enough for you to be able to shimmy your way up and up and up.
Thankfully, Macris, though tall, is skinny. She will do her best to do so slowly, quietly, but
by the time you reach the top, you aren't it's not actually something that there's one more grate. Mm-hmm. That grate leads out into what seems to be some kind of shack on top of the roof of the building,
right?
Or you can go all the way up and then try to push your way out of where the
no, I'll go into the shack.
Okay. When you go into the shack, You see that up here there's things like equipment for clearing snow off the roof of the building, maintenance tools and the like, and then there's a push bar to open.
Yeah. Put the little vent right back in behind me. Check to see if her phone is back from when she jammed technology.
Yeah, it's been long enough.
Quintuple check that the volume is on ultra silent, no vibration, nothing.
Sure.
And then text her pack, who I now cannot respond at this time.
Cool.
And also any percent, and also Sky.
So you message any percent and you message Sky.
Yeah.
Okay. So you message any percent what?
I'm trapped in the coroner's office. I'm surrounded by a group that's calling me Gaian. But they're not uniformed like Project Twilight.
And what do you tell Sky?
Same. Basically copy-pasted it.
You're not putting them in a group chat?
I don't think so. I don't think Macris is that. I'm sure, like, if she didn't set it up, she at least got Dante to set up a group chat with her and Troyan sort of thing. With him and Troyan and her. But, like, yeah. If she gets invited to group chat, she does. Setting them up? No.
Do you know what this is?
Ooh, a D20.
It's a D20, but it's a specific kind of D20.
Spin down.
That's right. It's a spin down D20. Which means that it goes from 20 and then I can tap it along to put it down to 1. I'm going to put it down in a place where I can see it. And you can't. It's going to be the number of actions you can take before something's going to happen.
Great. Can I request a break?
You can. At the cost of another click down.
Click. Okay, I guess that's the case.
Go for it.
I'm like, nope, that's too stressful. I've reached my limit. We're waiting for the bedroom.
So while there is going to be a break, at the same time, I'm going to ask if any of you have any questions about what's going on. Because I am going to take a sip of my water. Am I feeling after running a solo game after a while? Solo games are an interesting thing, and I think that they can be pretty cool, pretty awesome. The thing about solo games very specifically, though, is that there's a pressure that's placed upon both player and storyteller at a certain point because there's no one else who can contribute. And if there's no one else that can contribute, then you kind of are relying on like each other to get your way through it. Sometimes that means you have to add some extra RNG in order to make sure that you don't kind of peter yourselves out. Thank you, Gil. What's the thing in the closet? Indeed, what is that thing in the closet? I don't know. Yeah, so solo games are an interesting kind of different. They're a different feel. They are certainly worth exploring every once in a while. I'll say yesterday, I had a really cool thing happen where I was with family, and they had these water balloon things, but they were reusable water balloons. So imagine like a silicone ball that could open up like a burp, and both halves you kind of dunked it underwater and then you closed it. They were magnets surrounded by silicone sort of covering, so that you had a ball full of water and you could throw it at somebody, and upon hitting somebody it would burst, but that because it was magnets, it would just pop open, and then you can refill it and do it again. So it's a reusable water balloon, and it was amazing. I absolutely loved it. Requiem, I imagine there's some extra challenge to a solo game because you can't swap players to give either you or the player a chance to think. Yeah, I mean, look, I always have to be on in this sort of thing, but players often want outside help, be it from somebody else or whatever. But yeah, there's no help from PCs coming, so it is something that they have to take into account. Both help just in terms of the characters, but also help out of character to give them that moment. So in a way, like a player requesting a break is completely understandable, to be quite honest. And I am not surprised. That's the sort of thing that you would want to do.
Do you need want anything from the outside world?
I want you to vamp for a second while I push the button on this.
I'm going to.
How do you feel about a solo session thus far?
Pretty good. Pretty dang good. Exciting. Challenging.
Challenging?
Yeah.
Challenging in what way?
Oh, just that, pressure's on. Gotta make choices. Gotta figure out what is the next step. That isn't the easy, quote unquote easy. I know it wouldn't be easy, but the perhaps more straightforward option of just saying it's time to wreck it.
I'm gonna wreck it?
Like trying to lean into the rat, because I feel like I haven't necessarily sent Macris into the stealth options even when they've been presented. So rather than just being like, fuck this, I'm gonna smash everything in the face, trying to stay to the shadows and do the sneaky.
Do the sneak?
Mm-hmm. It's like the creep, but gentler.
It's fair. That's very fair.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly it. It's an entire session for a player to shine, to do their thing. It's super cool, super fun, super appreciated. Also, vampires. Preempted Vancouver by night, unless you said it before. And yep, you did say it before. Shunks. Well, vampires.
Nothing is broken.
That's
Speaking
good.
of nothing being broken, are you ready to continue?
I am ready for my break to be broken. Okay, so I'm on the roof of the morgue in a little maintenance shack. I've sent out a bunch of texts, and I'm figuring out what my next move should be.
You're not receiving any response.
Mm.
But I'll remind you that in the last session, you sent several texts and you didn't receive a response either.
Correct. What the fuck was that thing in the basement? I will talk to Dante. He knows these things. What the fuck can I do to get myself out of this situation? Need to get myself into a crowd to disappear into a crowd. Oof. Macris is going to do a bit of stretching now that she's no longer cramped in a vent. Continuing to figure out what the heck she can do.
The hose that are hanging on the walls do not comment on your stretching.
That was kind of the diggy hose. Are there any garden hoses? No, it's a roof.
It's a fire hose.
I was gonna ask, actually, is there any fire equipment? Push bar, huh?
It's push bar, which means that it's designed to be like, okay, if you're in here, you'll always be able to get out.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna gently...
So crash bar, I guess.
Yeah,
is
crash bar.
Correct terminology.
Gently, slowly engage the crash bar.
Okay.
Listen.
Oh, it's well oiled.
Nice.
Click.
Yeah. Let it go. Like, gently again, close it.
As in you're not leaving?
Not leaving.
Because
Macris doesn't... Yeah, Macris doesn't know that there's a ticking tick, right? I don't want to change my tactics just because I know. 'Cause she would just hang out up here for...
No.
I'm not... You can gesture with your hands the number if you want to like show them fingers or whatever. Like,
Okay.
yeah, and then once you're done, let me know. I'm looking eyes closed just for focus. If you unfocus. Yeah, she would just sit it out. Genuinely, like I know there's a time limit, but Macris doesn't. So she would find a way to sit in such a way that she could sit for a long time. But
there's plenty of room in this shack.
Yeah, but be ready to go right at whoever comes at her. So it wouldn't sit in a way that would like take a while to get to her feet.
Echoing from the vents below. Gaian, we've spoken to Stag. It's just a misunderstanding. Come out and we'll talk.
Does it sound like it's... did it sound like it was getting any louder as the sentence continued?
Nope.
Okay.
It still seems to be over their intercoms.
Yep. Chillin'.
Click. After another 20 minutes or so, Gaian, we have one of yours. I have to admit, I'm not in the mood to kill anymore today. So if you come out, we'll let him go. And just to prove, what's your name? And you hear like a... And then something cuts out. And then comes back. He's not in the mood to talk. He's old, though.
She, this is her thinking to herself, but I'm going to share it with the chat of classic. I sure believe that they have someone. But yeah. Old though.
That's it.
Well, that's where he's been.
Click. After another moment, Gaian, we can't keep everyone out of the building for much longer. They're going to have to come in. You're not going to be able to hide from everybody forever, and I imagine that you will have to violate your precious litany. We're giving you the opportunity to do this safely.
She's gonna update Sky. Whoever they are, they claim to have an old person, but that person isn't interested in talking. Maybe this is where Cleaves the Lie has been. Maybe they're just bluffing.
The text message indicates that it's sent. No read receipts, so.
Yeah.
Click.
Yeah, Macris's plan is genuinely to just wait and wait and wait and wait. I know that's not as exciting now that you've given me a timer, but she would not.
It's okay, there's something that's going to happen at a certain number.
Yeah.
That might change your course of action.
Yeah.
But you are just going to wait.
Yeah.
Very well. I will just advance to that number.
Like, and I'm happy to continue playing this out. I'm just going to tell you that, like, yeah.
Yeah.
Different character, different situation. I would be like, oh no, I'm going to do things, but not her, not now.
Guyan. Clearly you don't care about your own kind. What about a friend? Would you care about a friend? We know where we can find one. Does he know about you? Does he understand who you are, really? If you don't come out in 5 minutes. And then the intercom switches off.
Too vague for her.
Are you listening actively?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Roll me a wits and awareness.
Three.
After waiting for this long, you're relatively sure that there's one person on the roof. You can hear one set of footsteps that keep sort of wandering around every once in a while, kind of crossing back and forth. Occasionally, supposedly, maybe they're checking out off the side of the building or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a pretty wide open roof.
Mm-hmm. Wait them out until they've decided that I've slipped away. That's her plan. Or until she gets so damn hungry that she has to
Feed.
do something.
You can survive weeks.
Yeah,
without
that's exactly it.
I think that's going to be the issue.
That's her plan. Boring.
It'll take a few more hours, and now night has fallen. You could howl to regain some range.
Not at this time.
No? You don't,
No.
I really don't want to do that. Finally, you hear the click and whir as power is restored. The lights in the shed suddenly come on.
Stand, stretch, get ready for something.
This is a shed.
Yeah. Just ready. Like, no longer sitting, no longer waiting, expecting something to change.
What did you do with the grates that you moved aside?
If she felt like she wasn't hearing any change, she would have been trying to put them back into place. But, like, wouldn't have taken the time to, like, screw every screw back in. Just, like, place them.
It's fair.
Mm-hmm.
More hours pass. You're no longer hearing any sounds on the roof.
She's gonna start, like, ringing Dante and Troyan and everyone, basically going down her whole contact list.
So,
Of otherworldly beings. Not like, you know, her mom. Yeah, not happening.
Okay, so something interesting about you using your phone at this point. You can send messages.
Yeah.
You can place calls.
Yeah.
There's no answers. But one thing is that you have no data access.
Yeah. Okay. So she can't scroll the internets for entertainment. Also, her phone's gonna lose battery at some point.
Depends what kind of phone is it. Is it like a?
It's not a very high-tech phone.
It's not a. It's not like a.
It's not an iPhone 14X Max Pro, but it's also not a Pebble.
Those things have battery life.
Yeah. I just feel like the fancier it is, the more juice it needs to exist.
It's kind of how big it is.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not doing anything to you. So
Cool.
you can
Marcus.
stay in this shed until you die.
Cool. She waits until she doesn't hear someone walking around on the roof anymore.
Yeah, I told you.
Oh,
there doesn't seem to be anyone on the roof anymore.
Oh, I missed that. I just heard, they're walking and then they're pausing and then they're walking and they're
No,
pausing.
I said
Oh.
specifically there doesn't seem to be anyone on the roof anymore.
Oh, then at that point she would try the door again.
Okay. Push down again on the crash bar. Opening it up.
Pushing down the grass bar first.
Okay. It's well oiled.
Yep. Then millimeter by millimeter opening it.
It's dark outside now.
Mm-hmm.
And there are no lights on the roof. But there are street lights elsewhere.
It's the city. It's not like pitch black.
Roll me another wits awareness, please.
Four.
You're now certain that there is no one else on the roof. You wouldn't be able to tell if there's somebody still outside the building who was waiting and watching, but because you're not at the edge of the roof, you can at least go outside.
Yeah. She's gonna, her little slice, scan the other roofs nearby as she tries to slip out. I assume there are other buildings. It's downtown.
Show you the map. So, there is a parking area right there. And there's more parking here.
Woo! So much parking. What's that?
This is a park, and there are buildings, but they are not particularly tall.
Frontenac, is that? Parthenae.
Parthenae,
Okay.
William,
Okay.
and Logan.
Cool.
So there are no buildings that you could potentially leap to.
Yeah. It also means there isn't a building right next door for them to have a sniper on.
You are correct.
But they could be far away. Cool. Just gonna gently close the door behind her.
So you're outside now on the roof?
Yeah.
Okay.
How long has it been now since the last guy?
Hours.
Okay. Yeah.
Like 8 hours. Macris is showing a lot of patience.
And try to find her way away from the building.
So as you start looking at it around the building, now it's still a cop shop.
Yeah.
So there are still definitely people who are around, but you now don't see anybody who have that kind of inconspicuous but yet conspicuous look.
Yeah. Make her way off the roof. I assume there's an access ladder or something that this other person came
Without a
from.
roll, what's your dex athletics?
My dex is 3, my athletics is 2.
Okay, so you don't have to roll. You can just parkour your way down from the roof. You are now on the ground. You are away from windows, away from, But the one thing that we are going to check is whether you avoid cameras. So this is going to be a stamina stealth.
Two successes.
Okay.
She came in her car, so she's gonna head towards the closest metro station.
The car that you were in, by the way, is still there. It's got a couple of parking tickets now.
Yeah. She's gonna walk away.
Frontenac Metro it is. 'Cause I
Woo.
believe that's the closest metro to where you are. But when you get to the metro station,
Yeah.
you see that there's several police officers on the outside. They seem to be flashing photos at people.
She casually turns the corner and heads somewhere else.
Okay, so you're avoiding there.
Yep. Heading back generally towards the bar, which I recognize. I cannot encounter Ryan and Dante at this time, but
Okay. As you start to walk away, now you hear that same "took you long enough" from off in an alleyway that's off to the side. This voice you do recognize.
is it the voice from the basement? Or is it... Okay.
Well, not basement. You
Well,
weren't- you
what,
weren't in the
like...
basement.
Sorry, I assume the corner stuff is in the basement. But yeah, from the hallway or whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
She will head towards the alley. You wanted me to leave.
I wanted you out of my place.
So the whole building's yours?
Should be.
Seems-
The person who you're talking to, again,
Yeah.
quite short, has still standing very much in shadow
Yeah.
wherever he can. See that his fingers are like cut up and gnarled in a lot of ways. Quite pale.
And yet you're following me now.
I need to know who you are.
I'm a Gaian.
What is that?
I serve Gaia.
Who is that?
Who or what are you?
You're different. I can tell. You're different.
Same to you, buddy.
Fine.
Two strangers in a strange place.
I don't like when there's people surrounding my turf. I don't like when people with guns run around in my turf. Now, this is a weird thing because, of course, this is a cop shop and they all have fucking guns.
Yeah. Most people don't. Why would you hang out in a place with a bunch of police?
What's your name?
Chris.
I'm Vincent.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance, seemingly.
The pleasure is all mine, I assure you. And yet, what are you doing to attract so much attention?
Looking into the mysterious death and replacement of someone I knew.
A replacement?
Yes. Someone's walking around looking exactly like a headless body that's in the morgue.
317.
Yep.
That was a weird one, wasn't it? Who shows up without a head and yet still a skull?
Yep. Someone who they're trying to keep the identity hidden of. Someone they're trying to make assume is a certain dead person when it's actually not a dead person.
It's a lousy way to hide identity. DNA is still there. Dental records.
You're the expert.
Look. I'll give you what I know if you tell me what you know.
Sure.
Do you like coffee?
Yeah.
Let's go and get some.
Sure. Let's get coffee. It's been a long night.
They're not looking for you, by the way.
Reporter?
At the station. They're looking for someone else. Just thought you should know. Do you like Tim Hortons?
Sure.
Good, it's the only place that's open at this hour.
To the coffee.
Yes. Coffee. The weird little man
Yeah.
walks next to you. Now, how tall is Macris?
6'4".
So there is a 2.5
Yeah.
foot, well, no, 1.5 foot
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah.
Um,
Macris does not lean her elbow on this person's head. She is not an asshole, unlike certain people I knew in high school. That's okay.
You're now in a Tim Hortons. So I know that Tim Hortons is kind of a joke to people out there. So let me reassure you of a few things. One, there are very few Canadians out there right now who think that it's worth anything. It's still very popular because they're fast and they're relatively inexpensive.
Yeah.
But not being a coffee drinker myself, I can't really speak to it, but perhaps you can.
They changed their coffee source, and it is far inferior. And also, they're no longer owned by a Canadian company, but they sure like to have maple leafs on everything and act like they're a great Canadian corporation.
The coffee is still, at the very least, freshly made. There's a box of relatively stale donut holes known as Timbits that gets thunked unceremoniously in the table between the two of you as you make your way into a booth. Your friend, Vincent, as it were, has a very large cup of coffee, which he sets off to one side and doesn't touch after that.
Macris gets a large coffee as well.
Now, 317. Originally identified as Tracy Mbatu.
Macris genuinely looks around to see if there is anyone that seems to be listening to them.
Oh, that's a good call. Why don't you roll me your wits and awareness?
Five successes.
You are pretty sure that no one here cares about anything other than I need a place where I can legally be
Yeah.
right now that has access to a bathroom.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Tracy Mbatu, known as a somewhat conscientious environmentalist millionaire, recently made the CEO of Climata, recently deceased. Climata declared bankruptcy immediately afterwards, and yet Mbatu makes it to a press conference.
You've been paying attention.
I'm told I should.
By who?
We have a mutual friend. I've done some digging on you while you were hiding somewhere in the building.
Who's our mutual friend?
He's a fan of the Montreal Canadiens. Tends to drink in a flophouse bar. By the way, Bar Balthazar is not a flop house.
No, but okay, that implies at least that it's not Ellis, and that I don't have to put my coffee through his face. So, thumbs up.
Maybe not.
He's claiming it's Theo. She's gonna, for now, assume that it's Theo, but she trusts no one. Good old Koivu.
Tell me what you know.
About Tracy, about our mutual friend, about which subject?
I'm amenable to all subjects.
Okay, Tracy, recently appointed. Seemed excited about what was good, what was gonna happen. Kind of had started to drink the Kool-Aid. And
Drink the Kool-Aid.
like believed that Clamato was gonna do good stuff.
You don't agree?
No, pretty sure they were gonna, whether consciously or not, still haven't determined, but basically bring really bad stuff into the world with these plants that they had bioengineered, magic engineered. I don't know. We have not
There's
solved
no
that.
such thing as magic.
Right, exactly. So, probably bioengineered, but what it was doing was pretty evil. So, maybe magic. You seem strange. You don't believe in magic.
Why would I believe in magic?
I don't know. You seem the type.
No. Never. Why would I? You believe in magic. Shut up.
Cool. So yeah. Evil magic that you don't believe in. Getting attached to these trees, or on purpose or accidentally, whatever. Attached or as a process of creating, I don't know. Evil trees. Now they've just been dropped all over the mountain. So, the mountain's gonna be really evil. And is probably just gonna die because of all evil. Really scientific, I know. That's what I know. I know it sounds like a lot of horse wash. Not
Doesn't
hogwash.
sound like horse wash.
Horse wash.
Why would you say that?
Because I'm talking about evil magic. And magic isn't real.
Eat your Timbits. He sort of pushes the... It's
Yeah.
just like a box of...
Yeah. Kate smiles. Macris does not. Macris is just like... I assume she hasn't observed him, like,
He is not
actively
touched
futzing with
nor
them or
has he
anything,
touched
right?
the drink.
Great. And she will eat a Timbit.
It tastes like
Stale Timbit.
stale Timbit, which
Yeah.
is not terribly satisfying.
It's still food after hours.
This is what I want you to know about Climata. It was founded to do one thing specifically: reforest quickly, easily, efficiently.
Mhm.
This idea of a bioengineered plant that came later, and that became exciting. What good is it to reforest when it will still take years for you to sit in the shade of the tree that you've planted? Now you can sit in the shade of the tree that you've planted after only a few years. Doesn't that seem more exciting?
Yeah,
Doesn't that seem like it's a better solution for the planet?
it does.
Well, I'll tell you that the inventor seemed to be on the up and up.
That he did.
There's more than one person who made their way to the coroner's office in the past few days. Batu is one. Quinn's the other. Quirin.
In a body bag.
He is dead.
They knew too much. We had spoken to each of them. Put them on to the possibility of there being a downside. They probably started asking the wrong kind of questions.
I don't care very much for trees. I care more about abnormalities on my turf. Which is why now I want to know why people were calling you Gaian. And why they seemed very focused on finding you.
Well, usually the people that are usually very focused on fighting me wear military garb and shut down bridges.
That's Project Twilight.
Ah, so you know about them too.
Yes.
Fan.
And
Big fan.
he does a very, like, he looks like he's going to beat his fist on the
Yeah.
table, but then he realizes where he is, so he just does a very, like, kind of like,
Thump. Big fan.
been a thorn in our sides for a long time.
You have friends, good.
Of course I have friends.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very popular.
Mm-hmm.
You have friends too, I take it.
Yes, I'm also so popular.
Project Twilight is quick, efficient. They have the resources to be able to take over a building almost instantaneously.
But this wasn't them. Which is bizarre. No, the person calling me Gaian, you heard them mention Alice.
Yes. Who's Alice?
Also a Gaian. Sort of. Formerly, I don't know how it works.
What is
Also
a Gaian? Is it some sort of environmentalist kick?
Yes. We care about the Earth and the well-being of the Earth.
Why are you so important as to have people with assault rifles come after you on my turf?
They're the same kind of people that Project Twilight... I'm the same kind of people that Project Twilight comes after.
And there's like this narrowing of eyes.
And like
across the
Macris is
table.
also narrowing eyes at him, being like, what kind of people are you?
I'll make a deal with you. Let's not kill each other tonight.
Cool.
Pulls out like that same kind of gnarled cut-up hand.
I mean, you attack me, you're dead. Just FYI. Your friends attack me, you're all dead. Just FYI.
Yes, I'm saying that we won't do this.
Great, same.
All right. Can I get you another cup of coffee?
No, I'm good, thanks.
You don't want more coffee?
I'm set.
Everybody wants coffee.
Has
when they
he-
speak
has-
with me. No, he has not touched his coffee. You can have mine. I'm not thirsty. Pushes it across. It's like a huge vat of
Yeah,
black
it's the
coffee.
extra large, which is like
Yeah.
a foot tall. It's ridiculous. Pops off the lid.
I managed to convince people to reverse the shutdown and get people back into the building.
Thank
I've
you.
also got other people trying to minimize the impact of this on the press, making a claim that it was a search for a bomb that they could not find.
Weird. Fair. Valid.
I don't want people looking around
Yeah, of
my
course.
turf.
Of course.
But you've kind of implied that, like, all of Montreal is also your turf, not
No,
just...
just the coroner's office. Well, and the rest of the Sûreté du Québec building. The parking lots.
Okay. Yours.
It's enough. That's all I need. But if I can't maintain control over it... But I thought I shouldn't kill you.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Yes.
So, we're both enemies of Project Twilight.
Apparently so.
And I don't know who these non-military military dudes were.
Well, then we can find out. Would you like to find out?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you keep a cell phone?
Yes. I have one of these cellular telephones.
And have you been able to get a response from anyone in the last X of 12 hours or whatever?
I don't make a lot of calls.
But you were able to research me.
Yes.
What technology did you use to research me?
I asked my friends.
And how did you communicate with these friends?
With my telephone. My cellular telephone.
Okay, great.
It has worked.
Good.
I can reach other people.
Nobody's been answering me.
Oh, that is strange.
I am very
Perhaps
popular.
you can give me your digits.
Yes.
I will type them in.
What type of phone does he have? Is it contemporary at all, or is it...
No. The phone that he has is a Razor 3.
Amazing.
And of course, Razor is spelled R-A-Z-R.
It's a very skinny flip phone. Back when, you know, you could fit a phone into your front pocket if you were wearing female-presenting clothes. Ah, yes, the Moto Razor.
Hello, Moto.
Oh, yes, that one.
So, the Razor 3, just for people to know, was last sold in like 2008.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't really work on...
Yeah, because it doesn't do
networks.
GSM, or it's only GSM or whatever the technology stuff is. Yep. Again, she doesn't. She can tell it's
World
an
of Dark.
old flip phone, and that's enough for her. She's like, a fellow Luddite. Thumbs up.
There was a Dolce & Gabbana edition of the Razor 3.
Okay. I see you're into high fashion.
What is your telephone number?
Number, blah, blah, blah. 555-5555. She shows that her phone is lighting up, but it's not making any noise.
It does not.
Oh, it does it?
No call goes to you.
She, like, holds the power button to try to power it off. Power it back on again. She's very low tech.
Your phone doesn't seem to be working.
Correct.
Every once in a while I have to go to a customer service counter.
I have a friend who knows a lot about phones that I will ask to help me.
The people at the customer service counter are usually unhelpful. It is annoying.
They're paid minimum wage to babysit the store and answer the simplest questions and then pass you on to people who are paid probably less than minimum wage in a different country where the standard of living is different.
I don't care how much they're paid. I only care how much they can fix my phone. I'll pay a king's ransom if I never have to deal with them again. But I do not believe them every time they say that everything will work. They keep trying to give me a phone that they call smart. There is no such thing as a smart telephone. There is only an annoying telephone.
Correct.
Would you like a cruller? Or perhaps
not
a
hungry?
bagel? No. I am not hungry. I should describe this guy.
Yeah.
Right now, so he has his gnarled little fingers and he has like his like dark sort of clothing. And his head looks like remarkably like Mark Ruffalo.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Like eerily like Mark Ruffalo.
Weird.
The bagels here are not the sort of bagels that one expects here in Montreal.
Correct.
And yet, I know that they can be prepared quickly. And with your choice of butter, cream cheese, or mayonnaise.
Okay, yes, this is all correct. This
You
is
don't
normal
want
knowledge.
I'm paying for everything.
Are you like...
He pulls out a wallet that's like this thick. It's got like so many cards and like so many individual bills. And when he opens it up, you see that one of the bills is actually one of the old school 20s with Queen Elizabeth on the front, but like not the plastic bills.
Yeah, it's a paper bill. I'm good, thank you.
Very well.
You're not gonna like lure me into the depths of the darkness in the fairy world because you made me eat your magic food. Because magic doesn't exist.
Magic doesn't exist. Where did you hear that?
Pan's Labyrinth.
Damn them. Damn them all.
She continues to eat the Timbits, though.
Yes. You will need sustenance for the journeys ahead. There are more journeys. Always more.
Okay. We have an enemy.
Yes.
None of us liked these.
They are buttholes.
Correct. Language. Amazing. I need to get back to my friends. I need to figure out why.
You need to fix your mobile telephone.
Yes, exactly. Gee.
Now that it's powered back on.
Yeah.
Do you want me to try again?
Sure.
There is a redial function on my phone. You don't have to tell
Ooh.
me what your numbers are. Even though I have memorized them.
Neat trick.
Boop. This time, your phone lights up. Answer it.
Boop.
Hello, this is Vincent.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
This is Chris.
Can you hear me through your mobile telephone?
Do I hear him through my mobile telephone?
Yes, you do.
I do. Thank you.
Excellent. We no longer have to speak to customer service.
Yes.
Damn them all to the fiery pits of hell.
Yes. I am gonna try texting her people again.
If you wish to drink my coffee, we can make sure it will not be wasted. Pushes the coffee across
She
the...
drinks the coffee.
I did not put anything in it. I can request cream.
Oh, I thought you were like saying, oh yeah, I totally didn't put drugs in your drink. And I was about to pour this over your head and punch you through the face. But I understand what you meant.
If Project Twilight is interested in you, I don't believe that a simple drug would do anything to you, would it?
Are you impervious to drugs too? Are you impervious to bullets?
Bullets.
Are you impervious to magic that doesn't exist?
Magic doesn't exist.
Are you impervious to fire?
It's just trickery. And people being buttholes. I don't like those who call themselves magicians. I don't like those who claim to use magic.
Cool.
Now, if If your phone is now working,
Mm-hmm.
that means that you are connected once more to your network of associates.
Yes.
Yes. Well, that means that you have friends again.
Yes. Still don't seem to be answering my texts.
So your phone did say that your texts were sent.
Mm-hmm.
It might not be trying to send them still.
Yeah. She will try texting the same group of people again.
Okay, so Dante, trying. I don't know.
Yeah.
You get a message back from Sky.
Mm-hmm.
What message are you sending?
Yeah, at this point, because I wouldn't be like, I'm not on the roof. No, I'd be like, I haven't been able to contact anyone for hours. I ran into trouble. I'm fine again, but there seem to be police looking for someone. Really big and disjointed.
Those weren't police.
At the metro station?
Oh, at the metro station, they're looking for drug dealers. I should know. I made sure that they would be looking for drug dealers. It's very easy to find drug dealers. You find somebody who is already suspicious looking, and then you give them drugs. Then you tell the police that there's someone suspicious with drugs around.
So you entrap people?
Yes, but they're already bad.
How do you know?
I watch them.
I see.
They are on my turf.
I'm really glad you didn't decide I was... Did they think I'm the drug dealer?
No, they don't think you're the drug dealer.
Okay.
I wanted to have a chance to talk with you without people looking for you.
Thank you.
At the moment, I'm not even sure that they have a good view of you or of your face.
Correct. I
Such
tried.
an interesting thing, faces. And those who are able to imitate them, change them, steal them.
Do you know of a way that would be done? Perhaps some of your associates know how to do that, and that could explain why there's a faceless body and someone with that face? Not that magic exists or anything.
Theo thought it was important for me to know about Clamata, and he thought it was important for me to know about Mbatu.
Theo thinks a lot of things are important for people to know. We also learned about these things through him. But I like him a lot.
I like him too. He talks a lot.
He does.
Sometimes I just like to sit and listen.
Same.
And he fills the conversation. I don't feel like I have to participate.
So,
They serve wraps here.
do you know any way by which someone could take a face? You don't have to tell me all your secrets, just is that a thing that you've heard of happening?
There's many ways. One way you can cut it off, which seems to be what happened to your friend.
Yeah.
Tell me, is she really your friend? You are not broken up inside over her death.
I mean, I kind of am. I feel pretty directly responsible.
Do you require... And he reaches into the folds of his clothes and he pulls out a very long silk handkerchief. Something to cry into.
No, but thank you.
Good. You would not find my shoulders to be particularly comforting, which is why I carry multiple handkerchiefs.
That's very kind of you.
I am nothing if not kind, as long as you stay away from my turf.
I intend to.
Yes.
Now that I have your digits, if I have questions about your turf, I can just ask you and stay away and let you have your turf to yourself.
My turf is still a public place. People can go onto there. I just don't want problems. You arrived and you caused a problem, and yet you are also recognizing a different problem. A problem that already
I
existed.
didn't cause the problem. I was investigating the problem, and whoever doesn't want me to investigate the problem showed up.
Exactly. And so you and I are now unlikely allies in a world gone cold, turned against us, and delivering us bodies without faces. Would you enjoy a flatbread pizza? They are new.
Yeah, I actually haven't tried those yet. So Macris gives in to this offer.
I will fetch one. Wait here. Do you want more coffee?
No, thank you.
So he gets up.
A foot and a half of coffee is sufficient.
And you hear,
Yeah.
you hear at one point, "Are you Mark Ruffalo?" And he goes, "No, I want flatbread pizza. I want the one with lots of cheese. And perhaps some other toppings as well. I leave it to your discretion. I will wait over at the table yonder. It is for my friend and not for me."
I mean, it's the middle of the night in a fast food joint. He's honestly weird but normal for this kind of situation.
I trust $50 is enough. It's like 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
What the fuck is going
I will give you precisely $15. The rest of it you can keep as a gratuity for yourself. But you must bring me this pizza. I will not wait at your counter. I do not enjoy standing in a place where I am told that my order will be delivered. You will deliver the order to me, even though it is for my friend. I'm off. And he goes back and he sits back down at the table.
I am texting Troyan again, knowing that she can't really answer. Someone who knows about
You get a message from Sky. Where are you?
doing. I tell her.
Do you need me?
No, how's Weathered Storm?
Safe from direct interference.
Good. Have you heard from Troyan or Dante? I recognize that I'm asking questions that you can't necessarily answer, but Macris would want to know.
No.
Okay.
I might have to retcon that answer, but
Yeah.
I can't give you one.
Yeah.
You're the
Yeah.
one who waited 16 hours
Yeah.
in the building.
Yeah. Look. This is how Macris
You're having a conversation.
puts her phone down.
Is it with one of your associates?
Yes.
Trusted?
Yes.
You told this associate about me.
No.
I prefer to keep a low profile. You and I can be friends. I do not wish to be friends with very many other people.
That's fair.
I have lots of friends already.
As you've said, you're very popular.
No! I am not popular. I just have friends. Friends who understand my value and I understand theirs. You understand that I have information for you, and that you have information for me. This is how friendship is conducted here. Also, I have ordered you more pizza.
Thank you.
It was less expensive than I once thought. Do you want the remainder?
No, thank you.
Very well. I shall restore the currency back to my wallet. As he opens his wallet to stuff the money back in, you see that he has like loyalty cards from various different night dives, and oddly enough, a couple of cards in a language that you don't seem to recognize.
Kate wants to pry. Macris wouldn't.
Now,
Sorry, I'm just like, Macris would just want to run home to her friends, but I'm aware that I cannot do that.
you
so-
are allowed. You are allowed
Yeah.
to say that you don't
Yeah.
want to deal with this person.
No, it's not that. It's just, I feel like And if this were a standard session, Macris would not be ignoring her pack. Don't at me, people.
Now, I am going to see what else I can discover about the people who have been looking for you.
I'd appreciate that.
In exchange, should you learn anything else about the nature of Mbatu, or why people are trying to cover up her death, I would appreciate it.
Because it would be bad PR, of course, for Climata.
Perhaps. But I have one insistence. You cannot let your reporter friend know before me.
Okay. So if I find out about...
Come to me first. It is not that I do not want you to reveal the information to your reporter friend. But if some of the information that you uncover would provide unwelcome attention to my turf.
Gotcha. Which prompts her to check her pocket for that business card, and she's going to text the phone number with just the word ketchup.
Who are you talking to?
The reporter.
What are you telling him?
She shows her phone to him that just says ketchup.
There was ketchup all over the break room floor.
Correct. So this is my way of messaging him to let him know who it is that is messaging him in a way that doesn't tell anyone else who may have his phone anything other than a very strange message.
I had a friend a long time ago who called this sort of thing spycraft. Are you a spy?
I would be a very terrible spy. But I'm good at hiding places for a long time.
I am not certain that you are a spy.
No.
I think that you are more likely... And he looks you up and down. Someone who cares very deeply about very special things. Am I right?
You must be a fortune teller.
I am an excellent judge of character. A pizza is slid in front of you.
Thank you.
Are there utensils? I don't know if my friend is the sort.
I'm good, thank you. She picks up it in whatever portions it is and takes a bite, and it tastes like something.
I have no idea what it tastes
we
like.
We were eyeing it the other day, and we're like, I wonder what that tastes like. You know, she consumes food and is content to have food. Does she die because she has been turned into a fairy?
No.
Or eaten by the fae, or whatever.
Now, I am going to seek out what I'm seeking out. In exchange, Batu.
Yes.
Yes. The pact is sealed. I'm off. And he gets up and he, like, awkwardly shuffles his way out of the booth because his feet don't quite reach the floor, so he has to do, like, the push over and he gets down. I will remember you.
And I you.
No. The next time you see me, it will not be this face I wear.
She will reach out and grab his. Like, her instinct leads towards the center of his shirt, and then she diverts to, like, his arm. Like, his forearm.
I do not steal faces. I am just a very excellent disguise artist.
You don't rip them off of dead bodies.
Ew.
You hang out in a morgue.
Yes. So, I don't rip faces off bodies. That's gross.
You promise that you're using disguise. You are not stealing.
Would you rather see my real face?
I don't know. I've seen some shit today.
Then come with me.
Instant regret, but
You
she goes for
You
it.
are welcome to continue holding my arm.
She also lets go of his arm, but she will stand up and
Bring
wolf
your...
down her pizza
Oh, never mind.
and gather up the trash and make sure to drop it in the appropriate various receptacles for
You are
recycling and compost.
environmentally conscious.
Yes, I am.
He steps outside and he walks into the alleyway that you were at before.
She reaches into her pocket for a pocket knife. Just
And then he turns around
Yeah.
and you see a hideous, hideous man. Misshapen. Hello? Hello? Wait, merci.
parcel.
Yes. With a nose that's bent in like 6 different places, and wrinkles where there shouldn't be, and no wrinkles where there should be, and eyes that are sunken way too deep into the face, teeth that are pointed all along, snaggled and gnarled. No one wants to look at this. I'm ugly, hideous. And yet you force my hand. You are indeed a skilled negotiator. I will remember this.
Thank you for sharing.
And he dives back into the shadows. You can still very plainly see that he's still there, but now at least like there's shadow up to his chest. You can go away now.
Yep.
Our business
Yep,
is concluded.
Yep. Does she have any answers to catch up yet?
No.
Yeah. She is headed off towards the bar.
I think that means that this would make a good time to stop.
Mm-hmm. Calvin.
So, what did you learn?
I learned that despite my meta-awareness that it would be more interesting if I did something interesting, in my meta-awareness that there was a timer ticking, Macris's answer to the problem was just to sit and wait it out.
Yep. The effects of this are noted.
Okay.
But
everyone
that's
I
not
love is
necess-
dead because I didn't go save them. I understand.
But that's not necessarily a bad thing. I just
Please
said
allow
something
my
was going to happen.
Yep.
Right. Do you want to call out an element of your own play?
Wow. No, I want to call out yours. I want to call out this character who initially I thought slew a cast. Chat is now settling on a Nosferatu vampire, whoever he may be, whether he's a specific splat from a specific book or a creation of your own. He's great. He's fun. Thumbs up.
I'm everything everyone wants.
Everything, everywhere, all at once.
I'm going to point out that your option to be patient and to sit may not have always been an option.
No, I was ready for, my sitting there and for trouble to find me.
No, there's different things that could have happened. You managed your rage in such a way that this was a potential course of action for you. There would have very easily been a way that Macris would have been unable to contain herself, to pop claws and wreck shit and go for it. And that wouldn't have necessarily been a bad thing. But I do find that what you did today was a very ragabash way of doing things, as opposed to what Dante would have done or what Troyan would have done. So you did kind of reinforce your auspice to a certain degree. I also have to tell you that you have earned renown. May I see your sheet, please? not knock over my shit. Yes. Macris, the spirits have recognized that you have tangled with many enemies over the past little while, and in fact are responsible for slaying a Black Spiral Dancer after a significant battle through the gauntlet, and you are awarded with another point of glory.
Thank you.
Now, with that being said,
I can attack one more person, the spirit of the fray. Yes.
we didn't have Liz and Scott here today. But we also know that they were doing something proper on their own, which is good.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen this week?
I get a sense, based on what I know, what I last heard from them, that there will quite possibly be their usual-ish streams throughout the week. Exclamation mark schedule, thank you very much. So probably something from Scott on Tuesday, probably Punchy, not so sure about the weekend, hopefully some Drew Crew and Doomed. Always check out the Discord for the details. But next Sunday, there will be, at 2 p.m., usual time, usual channel, 2 p.m. Eastern on Sunday, another episode of Werewolf the Apocalypse, Montreal. But
yeah, it's actually going to happen this time around. A full session. Now, I will say that there's a clinic hours that I have planned, and it is a clinic hours with special guests, but I don't know the date, and unfortunately, I can't give you a timeline for that because I have had a month and a half at work. So I'm going to have to let you know soon what's going to happen, but I don't have it yet. But I do know who's scheduled. I do think it's going to be awesome. But we're going to have to get to it soon. We've got a very interesting topic to discuss as well. So it's just a negotiation away to make that happen. Speaking of negotiations, congratulations for negotiating yourself out of a pretty dangerous situation that I put you in. And also, congratulations to you, anybody out there who is listening to this, for negotiating through a solo adventure this time around. Special thanks, of course, to Koku, Fenris, and Aragorn for sitting in and being there. And if this is the sort of thing that you're interested in, us having solo sessions as opposed to postponing the stream, let us know on the Discord. We actually do want to know whether it's the sort of thing that you'd rather that we just take a break and then wait until we play all together, or whether you prefer that we play. We do, of course, want to know your thoughts because we like to take those things into account. I know that I take into account that where I look to find a place to go, typically, it's that way. See you next time.
Ooh.